Well, Thursday night, we're going live. We're going live 7 p.m. Texas time, so Central Standard Time. For those who've been asking, here's your answer. We are going live. I'm going live, and I'm going to be teaching you how to build a business from your phone. So if you want to make an extra $2, $3, $4, $5,000, even $10,000 per month by building this business up, you can do it by starting your own middleman business from your phone. You're going to learn 3 things: how to book customers, take a deposit, dispatch the work. Book, deposit, dispatch, that's all your business is going to do. Then I'm going to teach you how to hire a VA, your first employee. Your VA, I have one, Cynthia. A lot of my students know her. You're going to hire your first VA. You're going to work 1 hour a week, only meeting with your VA and being the CEO, the boss like you're supposed to be, without punching a clock. And the VA is going to take over all your book, deposit, dispatch. If I can get you to make about $100 to $150 per customer, if you just book 3 customers per day, that's anywhere between $300 and $450 a day. That's life-changing money, and you don't even have to leave your house to do it. So for all of you who've been asking about the middleman business, I'll see you in the free live training. The link is going to be in the first comment below, as well as the video description below. Also, if you cannot wait, just put the word middleman in the comments below to get the link. Only a few people invited, so move quickly. All right, this video is going to be fire. It's going to be powerful, and I promise you it's going to bless you and knock your socks off. Well, it might knock your drawers off, right? So we've knocked some socks off on some videos, so let's knock some drawers off, right? So let's talk about this. You know that it's very hard financially to make a living today. By the way, hit subscribe, smash thumbs up if you haven't already. If you don't mind, share the video. I appreciate that. You and I, we've had conversations at length on this channel. And I try to give you everything that I've learned, every lesson I've come across, every bad taste left in my mouth, every terrible experience. I've given you the ups, I've given you the downs, I've given you, hey, I learned this, you probably should think about that. Or here's what I learned. I get emails from you guys, I get comments, I get questions, I get, hey, great video. I also get, hey, you suck. So I get both. It doesn't hurt my feelings. I'm a big boy. And so I appreciate the interaction, but what I'm learning is the mindset, the mindset that's going to cost you your financial freedom is the mindset of the masses. Right? It's the mindset of the most, the mindset of the many, the mindset of the majority. And there's only a few people out there who have the mindset to actually win the money game. So I'll show you right quick. If you're sitting there thinking, well, do I have the mindset to win? All right. If I wrote you a check today for $10,000, what do you do with it? There's your answer. If you said pay bills, buy things, then you have the mindset of the masses. But if you said use the money to make more money somehow, then you have the mindset of the minority, right? So we're going to talk about in this video what I believe, and there's probably more than this, I'm sure there are, but I'm only going to do 5. I'm going to do 5 powerful financial handcuffs, things that keep you in financial prison, financial purgatory, and financial bondage because they are in your life. So if you don't believe the system is rigged, I'm not going to tell you it is. I'm not going to tell you it isn't. I'll let you decide based on this short video and what we talk about today. We're going to talk about 5 things. Of course, there are more, but 5 things that prevent you from quitting the job that you hate, working with the people you can't stand, working under the boss who hates you and who probably wants to get rid of you. But you can't walk out the door. You can't say, I'm fed up to here and I'm not coming back tomorrow because of these 5 things I'm about to mention. Are you ready? I'm doing this live, so I can't put my graphics up. I wish I could, but here we go. In no particular order, but we'll just run them down. I'll run them from 5 back to 1, okay? And there are plenty, don't get me wrong. And you guys, if I miss some, put in the comments. And if you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments. But let's go with these 5. All right, here we go. Number 5, inflation. You can't quit your job because of inflation. Yes, I know you hate your job. Yes, I know you hate your boss. Yes, I know they make you walk a half a mile to get to the office because you can never find a parking spot and you don't want to get there early. But you cannot quit your job because of inflation. What does that mean? That means the cost of living is too high. What does that mean? That means you don't have enough money to sustain yourself if you quit your job. Now, I'm not a person who recommends just saving money anyway. I recommend if you're going to save money, use money to get cash flow. Live off cash flow, not paychecks. That's a better way to live. That's a freedom lifestyle. Should do a video about that. But you can't quit because of inflation, because you need every dollar. Every dollar counts. Have you seen the price of bacon? Have you seen the price of eggs? What kind of chickens are we dealing with? Are the chickens striking? What is happening? Why are these chicken eggs so expensive? My goodness. I went to the Waffle House the other day and it's like on the menu is like, hey, 50 cents upcharge for egg. What? Don't even tell me that. Just put it in the price. Don't even tell me that. It's foolishness. Or who are negotiating on behalf of the chickens? That's what I want to know. All right. I'm gonna move on before I get into that. Number 4. Are we on number 4? All right, number 4. We did 5, inflation. You can't quit your job because you need every dollar because everything costs too much. Yes, 90% of it is greed. How do I know this? Because when the prices went up, they said it was production, it was supply chain. It costs me more to make this product, so I got to charge you more to buy it. Okay, gotcha, understand that. But then prices started kind of going down. Then we find out that inflation went down a little, but the prices stayed the same or went up. Then we found out that there were companies who said they had to charge were making record profits. They don't make any sense. You can only make record profits if you make record revenue. So why are we still paying you record revenue when the price should be going down? So I'm telling you, a lot of it's greed, but we'll leave it at that. Smash the thumbs up if you agree that a lot of the inflation is greed, corporate greed. I'm not going to lie to you. It is. When your rent went up on your home that you live in, they didn't change anything in your house. They just charge you more rent. They didn't have to rebuild your home. They didn't add new material. That would have made sense. Hey, we got to put all this money into it, so we got to charge you. They put nothing into it. They just raised the price. If that ain't greed, I don't know what it is. So we'll leave it at that, right? Number 3. Are we on number 3? So 5 was inflation. I'm trying to remember. 4 was corporate greed. No. 4 was, so 5 was inflation. 4 was competition. All right. So I got all the way from that. Competition. Competition would be AI. AI is coming for your job. Systems and processes and software is coming for your job. I always say, if you have a job that does labor or service based, you'll be safe. But for a lot of you, if your job has anything to do with computers and stuff like that, they're probably not going to need you for very long. So competition from around the world, from immigration, legal and illegal. You could go onto Fiverr right now and get someone to design design, I don't even know, your t-shirts for you for pennies on the dollar. By the way, Fiverr is a middleman company. They don't do the work. They just match the customer with someone who does the work and they get paid to do it. That's what I do in my moving service. I don't move anybody. If you need to move, I match you with the mover. They do the work. I take my deposit. I'm done. I take $150. I go home. Every time I do it 2 times a day. I make a quick $300. Do that every day. I'm at $9,000 a month, and I never left the house. Anyway, if you want to learn how to do it, put the word middleman in the comments below to get in that training. So competition from all around the world is working against you and trying to take your job. That's number 4. So there are kids, because of the internet, because of computers and phones, there are kids on the other side of the world in the Philippines who can do your job for way less than you. So you're probably going to get fired. Those kids are going to get your job. Right? what was that? Number 4. Number 3, student loans. And I can say loans overall. Listen, a loan or credit card is not free money. That's money that lenders are selling you. That's bank money. That's real money. They're selling it to you. It's a product. It's not free. It costs you to swipe that credit card. How do I know? It's an interest rate. That's how much it costs you to spend that card. So don't get into the instant gratification. I'm telling you, it'll save you. Student loan debt. Student loan debt is crushing you guys. Crushing you. You went to school, you got that degree, come out here and find out you don't need it. Come out here and find out the job you got the degree for, that career is long gone. That field is drying up. This degree won't be relevant in 2 years. But the student loan doesn't go away. It's one of the worst loans, probably the worst loan you could ever have. You could die if Lazarus in the Bible days had a student loan and he died and 3 days later Jesus raised him from the dead, which he did. Lazarus would still owe that student loan. You can't even die away from it. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know if they'll pass it down. Somebody let me know in the comments. They might even pass it down. It's that brutal. And by the way, when the government was telling you, when these politicians were telling you for the past 2-3 years, they were going to cut your student loan debt, didn't I come on here and tell you that was a lie? They were just baiting you, pulling the wool over your head. You know how I know? Because other than taxes, it's their highest form of revenue for the government. What business would cut one of its highest forms of revenue? That makes no sense. Or sense, C-E-N-T-S. All right, so number 3, loans. If you have those loans, you're not going to be able to quit your job. If competition is coming for you, you're not going to be able to quit your job, because if you quit your job, you're not going to be able to find another job because there's too much competition. And the 5th one that we started with was inflation. You need every dollar. You got to have it, especially if you like to eat eggs and bacon like I do, right? So those things are keeping you from quitting the job that you hate. Number 2, right? And again, this is in no particular order. I'm just giving you some things off the top of my head. Number 2, cars. By the way, cars are way too expensive now. I would never, if I was in, like, if I had to buy a car, I would buy a used car from like a year ago. Less than 10,000 miles. I could rock with that. That thing's probably 25% less than the new one. I don't need the new one. I'll get the less than. This thing 10,000 miles or less, just 1 year older. Let's go. It could be 5 years older. I'm not trying to please anybody. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I don't care what you think. No, I'm going to get the one that works for me. You go pay the high note. No, I'm good. I'll pay way less than you. That's just my advice. If you're okay with buying a used car and you think that's a better idea, just to buy a gently used car and save thousands of dollars, smack the thumbs up. So, but you guys have these car notes. A car that you pay for is a liability. So the reason you can't quit your job is why? You need the paycheck to do what? Pay for the car. So if you go out there and get a car and your boss looks out the window and says, "Hey, Mary, is that your new Camaro?" "Yeah." "Oh, I like it. Is that red, cherry red?" "Yeah." "Man, that thing looks nice." "Yeah, I just went down and got it. Got a 5-year note." Bet. You know what you just told your boss? You'll be there for the next 5 years. They don't have to give you a pay raise. They don't have to give you a promotion. None of that. Why? Because they can leverage the car against you. What does that mean? Well, you got to pay for this car for the next 5 years. That's what you just told me, right? Yeah. Then you need this job. And because I know you need this job, I don't have to offer you anything. You can't walk away. Okay. Somebody smash that thumbs up if you're feeling this. All right. And number 1, and this should be number 1, no doubt. Your biggest expense in life, most of the time, it's going to be a liability for you, for me, for all of us. And the number 1 reason you cannot quit your job, the number 1 reason people are stuck on jobs they hate, the number 1 reason. You ready? Houses. You knew I was going to say it. Some of you are smart. Houses. The number 1 reason. Houses are the number 1 reason, no doubt, on any board that you cannot walk away from your job. 30-year obligation. $600,000, $700,000, almost $1 million. 30-year obligation. What's that? 120, no, oh my gosh, 360 consecutive months of making a payment for 30 years. You cannot walk away from your job because there might not be another job to walk into because of the competition thing I mentioned. You cannot walk away from your job because you got student loans that choke you. You wake up every morning to chokehold because that student loan has got you. You're tapping out. That student loan has got you. Got you in a triangle choke. We're trying to save you. Right? Student loan debt killing you. Inflation killing you. You can't quit your job because of inflation. Things cost too much. Don't have enough money in the bank to walk away from your job. Got to suck it up and stay there. Got to. Student loans killing you. Got to pay off this loan or it's going to strike your credit. Got to stay at this job you hate. Smash thumbs up if I'm preaching. Competition. Can't walk away from your job. Barely can even take a vacation because by the time you come back, Marco from the other side of the world has taken your job. What? Yeah, there's a kid in the Philippines who's working for $10 an hour. What? He's doing your job and he's doing it better. And while he's working overnight. What? Yeah, you can't quit because of competition. AI. Hey, there's a system they're working on right now, some software that's going to replace you. You didn't notice how they fired half your department and passed your work to somebody else? Yeah, you're next. What? Yeah, you got to see these things creeping up on you. My friends know. Number 2, cars. You're buying these cars, new or used, but these cars are albatross around your neck, choking you to death, pulling you into the depths of the sea of financial darkness, pulling you down, strangling you because you got this car note you got to keep paying for. And so you don't have any other way to make money, got to go to work. But I don't want to go to that job. You got that car note, right? You want to keep your car? All right, go to work. Number 1, house. But I don't like this job. They don't like me. You want to keep your house? Yeah. How long is your mortgage? 30 years? Go to work. But I got to work for 30 years? Yes, go to work. The mortgage is 30 years, right? Yes. You need that paycheck to pay the mortgage, right? Yes. You need a job to get that paycheck, right? Yes. Go to work. It is what it is. You're going to have to go to work because you keep acquiring liabilities that you believe are assets, and you're wrong. They are liabilities, and they prove it to you every day by stressing you out. My advice, get away from the stress. Not having money won't kill you. Stress will put you in a box. I'm just telling you the truth. It has put many in a box. Not having money has never put anybody in a graveyard. Hey, I don't have money. Hey, money's going to come and go. That's what it does. Stressing about money and other things, oh, it's going to put you in a box. Don't stress. Don't worry. It is what it is. The Bible says you can't control tomorrow. Why are you sitting here stressed about it? Doesn't mean don't prepare for it. Just means that, hey, the bad things you're expecting, why do you expect that? There's nothing you can do about it. Keep rolling. So I just wanted to share that with you. I hope this blesses you guys. Smash the thumbs up if this helped you at all. But again, those are my top 5 reasons you can't quit your job. You can't walk away from your job. Sorry if I kept it a little too real. That's what I'm here to do. And I'm just going to give it to you straight. A lot of you can't walk away from your job because you need the money. Inflation is killing you. You got a house. You got a car. You got student loan debt. You got credit card debt. Somebody's trying to take your job. Job market is tough. I can't find another job, and at least not one that pays me what I want. Got student loan debt. Got this degree y'all told me to go and get. Now I'm strangled by this debt. I talk to young people all the time. They're scared to leave the house. I'm scared to move out of the house. I don't know how young folks afford anything. It's terrifying. And the prices are not going down. Where's this crash? I'm here to tell you it's already happened. But I didn't see it. Exactly. Housing prices, they're going to crash. They already crashed. Go back and look at the past 2 years. They've already crashed. Nobody was buying houses. They barely budged. Barely budged. So my advice to you, untie yourself from that paycheck, untie yourself from that job. Find a way to make money when you're not at work. Listen, the only thing that's going to change your finances today is to make more money. I'm just telling you the truth. I know some of you don't want to hear it, but it is the truth. You have to make more. Everything costs more. If you want to live the life that you want to live and not have to just pinch pennies and tie every loose end together and struggle, then there's only one thing you can do. Make more money. Well, Sean, I can live below my means, or you can grow your means. Thank you. Grow your means. Why live below? Don't you want a nice car? Don't you want a nice house? Yeah. Then why go through life pretending you don't want that stuff? Go get it. Well, how do you get it? Well, that job's not going to get it for you, and you shouldn't buy it with that job. You need to get some type of income coming in from an asset, ACL, asset times cash flow equals liability. Man, I'm preaching here. I got to go, but I hope this blesses you. Smash thumbs up and let me know if this is helping you in any way. Share the channel with somebody else. Learn to make money when you're not at work. That's the answer. That's it. When you're not at work, make money. That's it. One day you'll be able to quit your job or walk away from your job because you'll be able to make money without needing a job. That's all I'm here to tell you. Okay? Fair enough? All right, we'll leave it at that. I know I might have hurt some feelings, but because some of you are already in the position, I'm just waking you up. Hey, don't beat yourself up. I've been there too. I've been in the position too. I've had a house too where I was paying with a paycheck. My next house, we don't pay for it with a paycheck. That's freedom. So I know what I'm talking about because I've been through it. Smash the thumbs up if I'm making any sense at all. If you understand any of what I'm trying to tell you, let me know. If you have a question or comment, drop it. Let me know. I'm about to get off of here. But again, I just want you guys to know that these, I believe, are some of the top 5 reasons you can't walk away from your job. Inflation, competition, loans, cars, and houses. These things bind you to that job. And you can't walk away because you need the paycheck. Get what I just said. You cannot walk away because you must have the paycheck. How do you get away from this? Create another source of income that does not require a paycheck. And if you don't need a paycheck, guess what else you don't need? A job. Yes, ding, 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 ding. A job. So again, take this video, get everything from it, digest it, watch it a couple of times. I'm giving you everything I got. I hope it blesses you. I hope it changes your life. Smash the thumbs up if it's done any good for you or at least got your attention. If you want to learn, then this is not for everybody. But if you want to learn how to make money from your phone without having to leave your house, you need to have a business, a side hustle, something that creates income. And again, before I close, a lot of you've been asking when is the next training because you missed the last training. I'm going to be doing it this Thursday night, 7 p.m. I'm going to teach you how to start a business from your phone. All you need is a phone. I'm going to teach you how to make money from your phone. My first year was 2020. It's the first year I ever did this. I made $77,000. I know it's not a million because I know you guys are suckered in by all this content you see online where people are showing you these $1 million lifestyles and these fancy cars. I don't need that. But my first year, I made $77K. That's it. I was impressed. You might not be impressed, but I was impressed because I never left the house and I never did any of the work. I simply was booking customers here in Dallas for moving companies, right? I booked customers for moving companies. These moving companies, wow, I'm looking. It's the first time I've seen 2 bald eagles together in the neighborhood. I've never seen that before. But really quickly, this is the first time, and I think I'm going to take a walk. I'm actually on the island. I'll show you guys. I'll pop out. Oops. I'm doing this live, so if you have a question or comment, you're welcome to drop it right now. But started that business in 2020, made $77,000 from the house, and I made $77,000 from the house. You can see them up there too. But I made down here. So I'm on the island right now in the neighborhood. Yes, this neighborhood has an island. I told you. And I think I'm gonna walk down here and chill. It's very windy today, so I don't know if you guys can hear me. But I did that business in 2020. I had no job. I was very close to having to get a job. We were paycheck to paycheck. My wife was holding us down, and I was like, all right, I gotta figure out a way, or I gotta get back to work. And so I ended up, well, through happenstance, I ended up sharing somebody's information with a friend, and he sent me $50. He was like, man, I made 800 on that move. I got to give you something. I was like, dude, just send me a few dollars. My wife and I will go to lunch. And he cash apped me 50 bucks. That's the bridge to get off the island back there. He cash apped me 50 bucks. And so I took, you know what? I should tell that story. So I was thinking about walking today, but it's super, super windy on the island today. Like, it's super, super windy. And man, I love this neighborhood. I love living here. It's awesome, especially when you're talking to a guy that grew up poor, grew up in poverty, grew up in the ghetto. So I'm gonna head home, and then you guys can ride with me, and I'll share this story real quick so you guys can know how I got into this. And if you're not interested in having a middleman business or making money from a side hustle on your phone, then you can go now. This is not going to be for you, but if it intrigues you and you're sitting there going, dude, I hear you loud and clear. I've got to learn how to make money when I'm not at work. Sick of this job. Don't want to work until I die. There's going to be no retirement for me. Social Security has already vanished. Dude, talk to me. Say more. So if you're sitting there going, hey, bro, say more about this make money from phone, then you're in the right place. So it's going to take me just a couple minutes to get across the bridge and then to get to the house. And boy, I love living here. What an amazing place. So here we go. So in 2020, this is how it actually started, because people think I'm some type of genius, because just in all transparency, you know, guy, I don't fluff you guys or nothing like that. The goal was to make, my goal for the business last year was 350 grand. I didn't hit that. We did 298. Still not bad, because I don't do the work. I can do these videos all day. I don't have to leave the house. And that's not a brag. I used to work my butt off. I had 3 jobs one time. One time I had a job where I was working 7 16s. If you ever worked in a plant, you know what I'm talking about. I was so exhausted. I was barely making me on that money. I was making $9 an hour. This is about 10 years ago. $9 an hour. You'll say, why in the world were you working in a plant making only $9 an hour? Because I had 2 kids and I had to go. I couldn't make an excuse. I had to go. And so I was in there, but I was counting on the overtime where I would get, it would go, no. I was making $12 an hour. The overtime would bring me 18. That's how I made some money. So that job lasted for 6 months. It was only a turnaround. If you've been in a plant, you know what a turnaround is. Smash the thumbs up if you know what it is, or let me know in the comments if you know what a turnaround is. And a beautiful lot right here. Man, I should build $1 million home right there. I wish the wind wasn't blowing like crazy. One day I'm going to do a video. I'm going to walk through this island and show you these. Now this home was for sale. Can I switch this? This house right here, the one I'm coming up on, this is not a real estate video. I just want to show you how I want to live. This house here is for sale. It's 1424. I think it's like 1.8 or 2 million or something like that. Beautiful house. All right, that one's for sale. I'd love to go check that one out, but you guys know we're building a house that we're about to get into. So, but I didn't like that. That one's savage. All right, so here we go. And for those who wanted to see I'm sorry, my finger keep getting in the way. I'm doing this live, guys, so bear with me. This is the bridge off of the island. My son and I, we do a lot of fishing under that bridge. So headed off the island back into the neighborhood. But again, so really quickly, headed home. But really quickly, guys. So 2020, paycheck to paycheck. My wife's going to sleep 6 o'clock in the evening. She's burned out. I'm so tired. I'm so exhausted. I'm mentally frustrated. I'm like, what am I going to do? I gotta help my wife. I gotta get back to work. I got to do something because we had just moved here to Dallas from Louisiana, and she's from Mississippi. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to go look for a job. And then somebody reached out to me and said, hey, I need some help moving. Do you know anybody? And I was like, bet, yeah, I know. And I don't even know who reached out to me. I assume it was from somebody I knew because nobody had my number. And so that person reached out to me, and I was like, yeah, I got my guy. Let me text my guy. So I text my guy, Courtney. I was like, Courtney, because I had just met him. I didn't know anybody here. I met him maybe when I first moved here, a few months before that. And I said, Courtney, somebody's building a big stupid house right there. I said, Courtney, I'll show you guys some of the neighborhood if you want to see it, some of the houses. I'll show you how I want to live, what our next house is going to look like. And I said, Courtney, I said, I texted him. I said, man, I got this person, this lady who needs help moving. Can you help her? And he was like, well, find out what she needs. I was like, okay, cool. So I found out what she needs, or what she was needing. And so I text back. I was like, man, she want this, she want that. And he was like, tell her this amount. So I text her back. I was like, yeah, he said he'll do it. It's going to cost this much. Text him back. I was like, yeah, she said she's good to go. So I sent him all of the information, and I let her know, hey, he's going to call you. Bam, was done. He messaged me 2 days later, and he said, hey, man, I made $800 off that move. I was like, what? Right? And he was like, yeah. He was like, man, how much do I owe you? That's what he texted me. And I was like, you don't owe me anything. What do you mean? And because I didn't know anything about middleman or making, tip or commission off of it. I was like, man, you don't owe me anything. I was trying to help you out. And he said, man, I got to give you something. I was like, okay, bet. I ain't no fool, right? So I was like, okay, bet. Sometimes it's okay to just shut your mouth and take it, right? Because people want to give. If you don't want to get it, what they got to give to you? And so I was like, okay, I'll take it. And so he was like, what do I need to send you? I was like, man, just send me $25. My wife and I will go have some Applebee's or something, just go for lunch. And that's what we were going to do. Man, $25, we'll go eat at lunch. That's it. And he Cash Apped me $50, which shocked me. I was like, 50? I didn't even ask for this, but I appreciate it. And so he Cash Apped me $50. We go eat, and I'm talking to my wife. I was like, well, I'm going to have to get a job. And she was like, so how are we paying for this? And I was like, Courtney just sent me $50 for sending him a job. And she was like, well, how did that work? I was like, well, somebody hit me up, and I was just like, okay, here's the work. And he took it. And then he was like, man, I want to tip you something. I was like, okay. I was like, I only asked for 25, but he sent me 50. So I appreciate that. And she was like, can you do it again? I was like, do what again? She was like, can you find another job for Courtney? I was like, I mean, the lady I was just sitting there like, I don't know. The lady just reached out to me through a friend. I don't know anybody. But that put the idea in my head to, what if I can? Wait a minute. I need the work. I just made $50 without leaving my house in text messaging. Might be something here. And let's see if this lady's okay. Oh, she seems okay. Just parking bad. And do like the truck. I'm about to show y'all 2 stupid houses they just put together in the back of the neighborhood. Really 3. This is where I fish at. I'm in the same neighborhood. The neighborhood's huge. You can take 20 minutes just to drive around it. And I know because I drive around it, putting my baby girl to sleep. So this is a Keep It Real channel. I know sometimes I let y'all peek into my life a little bit. And but I don't mind. I think I got a good audience. We're not a million viewers. That's fine. We get the people we need. So that's why I say we don't need the people in the Middleman Masterclass who doesn't want to be there. It's not hard work, but I'm not going to babysit you or drag you to the finish line. That's not me. Just be committed. Come in and do a little bit of work. It's all going to be done over your phone, and you'll be ready to go. Students right now are averaging 3,800. I did the numbers. 3,800 in their first month. Their first full month of going. So it may take a couple of months to get everything set up and going. I always say 90 days, but some do it faster than that. And I'm sitting there like, all right, it's going to take that, and then Beautiful house right here. I don't know who lives in it, but I love it. All right, so I'm gonna show you a little bit. This is where I fish, so you're gonna see that beautiful lake. There's a bunch of lakes. I fish back here. Just want to show you these houses on the left. Look at these houses. Aren't these nice? Somebody's about to go clean that one, so it's probably getting close to move-in time. Beautiful homes on the lake in the back of the neighborhood. I love it back here. I'm back here all the time. But to finish my story before I get off, because I'm almost in my house. Way to the right on this camera, there's a walking trail back there. So when it's safe to go back there, you can go back there and have a great time fishing. When there's no coyotes, and no, it's not even coyotes that scare me, it's the hog. When there's no hogs back there, when they're not out, it's a good spot to go. So I'll show you all this, and then look at this big house. I should do a YouTube video about these homes in the neighborhood. Beautiful, amazing homes. But anyway, I'll do this real quick, and then I'll finish my story. But again, so Courtney went out, did it, sent me that, and so I was like, all right, I could probably try to do this. And so what I started doing is I went and excuse me, I started promoting the business. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to just go out here and try to promote this business and see what happens. Smash the thumbs up if this is helping you and inspiring you in any way. It may not be the greatest story ever, but it's my story. And excuse me. So I went out there and I started promoting. And I put the word out, promoting the business, sharing. And then people started messaging me. And they were like, hey, need to get moved. And I was like, okay, get all their information. You know, I'm going to partner you with one of the best companies in DFW because I have my guy. And here's what I'm going to do. In order to get you scheduled, we're going to take a $100 deposit. So it was a 5-10 minute phone call, finished with a $100 deposit that went into my pocket right away. Get to the end of the call, got all your info. Hey, we require a deposit. It's going to be $100. I didn't say it that way. I had a much better way of saying it, but I'm just giving it to you just raw. So $100 deposit, need to get that now, pay me. And bam, they would give me a card number or ask for an invoice. I would just use Stripe. Invoice it, hey, it's in your email, go ahead and pay that. Or hey, give me the card number over the phone, go ahead and process it. Bam, they would process it. I would process it. Got $100 in my bank account. And now I do 150, but back then I was doing 100 bucks in my bank account, 10-minute transaction, never left my house. Once that was done, bam, moving on. So I knocked that out, got the $100, sent the work to my friend. Here's the job, go knock it out. Here's what they're going to pay you. He go out and knock out the job. Bam, job done. I'm paid. On to the next. So I started thinking, I was like, man, if I could do this 2 or 3 times a day, I'm going to have something here. So I kept promoting, telling everybody, talking to people. Hey, if you need to get moved, reach out. If you know somebody that needs to get moved, reach out. If you know somebody who knows somebody who needs to get moved, reach out. Right? And they started reaching out. Bam, I started booking. Some days I was booking 8, 9 in a day. One day I had so many bookings, I was tired of answering the phone. I was like, I don't even want to talk to anybody anymore. I had made $1,600 that day. My wife got home, I was like, I made $1,600 today. I had not left this house. She was excited. She high-fived me. I was like, look, we about to kill this. So I kept doing it. 77 grand the first year, but I didn't really know what I was doing. I was kind of understanding it and just getting started. So I just kept working it. The second year went up, third year went up, and on it kept going up. And this year, 2025, I expected to increase, but just kept doing the same thing over and over and putting in more work, learning more about it. Okay, customers, they don't like this, but they like this. Okay, customers aren't willing to pay this, but they're willing to pay that. And I just kept learning. And then eventually, here's how we got to where we are today. Somebody reached out and said, hey, I heard you talking about having a middleman business. I have a friend who has a cleaning service. Can you teach me how to do a middleman business and partner with her? I was like, what? Never thought of that. And I was like, well, what do you want to do? Do you want like a one-on-one meeting? I was like, do you want like a one-on-one meeting? And he was like, no, actually. He was like, can you create like a course or something where I could learn everything? I swear to you, my response was, what's a course? Because I didn't even know about this stuff. It was like a year and a half ago. It's like, the beginning of last year, really. And he was like, can you create a course? I was like, what the heck is a course? And so I went and started doing research. I was like, sure, I'll record a course for you, put it together. And now the course, when I first started, it was like 2 hours, but now it's like 10 or 12. And that's how I learned to do all of this. I'm home now, so I got to get off of here. But that's how I learned to do everything. And so I just kept promoting, kept sharing. People started booking, kept making money, kept making money, kept making money. And that's how I grew my business. And then what I realized is, wait a minute, you do not need a job to make money. You can create something from your phone that gets you paid. And the best thing is, you don't have to leave the house. Oh, today is trash day. Got to get the trash out. I don't want to get in trouble. And I was like, one of the best things is you don't have to leave the house to get this done. And when I realized that, it changed my life. And it got me to where I am today. Where we got cars, we got a beautiful house, we, just enjoying life. Beautiful neighborhood. You just saw some of it. But anyway, guys, just wanted to share with you that when you make that commitment that you're ready to change your life and you're ready to do things differently and you want your finances to look a certain way, you're not going to be in this world forever. I'm not either. Why not do it today? Why not get started on it now? So if a middleman business is for you, put the word middleman in the comments or click the link in the video description. If it's not for you, I understand. I wish you the best of luck, and I hope that you win in this short life. But whatever you're going to do, my advice is to do it now. See you in the free live training, guys. Peace.